Hello there and welcome. Rubina here. We're in lesson 2 now, into thinking into results, and this is the knowing doing gap lesson. Okay. And what I want to talk about here is the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I have a 14-year-old son, and oftentimes I'll say something to him, and he'll turn around and say to me, I know. And then I'll pause and I'll say to him, okay, you say you know, but are you doing? And his answer will be again, I know. And as I observe him and just watch, he knows intellectually what to do, but he doesn't do it in every instance. And why is that? It's not because he doesn't want to. He does want to because he knows intellectually in his conscious mind, he knows. But what's happening is there's a paradigm in his subconscious mind. And although he's only 14, the paradigm's already there. Because what happens with our conscious and subconscious minds is up until age 7, our conscious mind has not developed. Our subconscious mind is wide open. And so everything is just going in. And when you observe young people, you can see it more clearly. Okay. You can see it with yourself as well. However, one of the things I found is when I was observing for myself, it was a challenge for me to observe it. So I got a mentor, I got coaching to get more clarity around my own paradigms. Now, coming back to conscious and subconscious mind and the knowing doing gap, what happens is our 95% of our being is coming from the subconscious mind. Okay. This is where our paradigms are. This is where our self-image is. This is where our habits, our emotional reaction, because the subconscious mind is our emotional mind. And that's the mind that puts us into a vibration. And that vibration is what dictates the body to move or to act or to behave. Now, when there's a gap between what we know intellectually to do, but our subconscious mind and our feeling mind and our paradigm is not allowing us to stay with that and in alignment with our intellectual mind, then what happens is our behaviors are not in alignment with what we intellectually were thinking. And that's when there's the huge gap. Okay. And what this program does is it helps you close that gap. And that's what lesson 2 is all about. Okay. It's all about getting you, okay, to understand you better, to understand your thinking versus your feeling versus your doing. And it's all about, as you work through these lessons, to align the 3, because the 3 aligned is your attitude. It's a composite. All right. And then what that does is it enables you to be able to actually know the path, but also walk the path and close that gap in between. Okay. And so this lesson was key for me because a lot of the times I was in that same boat as I see with my son, right? Knowing things, but not doing it. Okay. And I remember my mentor, Bob Proctor, God bless him, his soul. And he was a huge prosperity personality, a legend in this personal development world. And he just impacted so many lives. And for me personally, he really gave me my rebirth. And Bob used to say the same thing, that, in his life, he was asked the questions, well, do you know you have to do this? And he's like, I know. And he goes, well, why aren't you doing it? I don't know, right? That's what he used to say. And I never quite got it when I first met him and he would say that, or when I would listen to his recordings. But as I observed it in my son. And as I understood how the mind works, the science of the mind, which is what this is all about, it dawned on me, wait a minute, I'm seeing it in my son now. And, I'm forever grateful for my son because he has taught me so much in these 14 years of his existence. Because he's just so there, he's present. It just, there's no filters. Things just come out. And so for me, I'm working with him on different areas of his life to be able to close that gap for him. And as I do that with him, I can do it for myself more and more. And so this lesson is all about really closing that gap, because a lot of what happens is when we know something but we don't do it, we end up doing the opposite of what we know. And then it doesn't serve us. And so there's a persistence that we all are doing something, but oftentimes we're persisting in something that isn't serving us. And so this lesson is all about switching that around for you. Okay, so you want to do some reflecting, and you want to ask yourself, what are you persisting in? Are you persisting in something that isn't serving you? Are you even aware of what you're persisting in? Because let me tell you something, we are all persisting in something. For example, in the morning, are you persisting in hitting that snooze button? And is that serving you? Do you want to switch it so that when you wake up, you get up? I know I was a morning person at one point in my life. Then I became a night person, night hawk. And then I switched it again to being a morning person. And I know the days that I get up earlier, I feel better. That's just for me. But that's a self-image thing as well. And I had to consciously switch it that, you know what? When the alarm goes off, there's no hitting snooze. And for a number of years, I kept hitting snooze. And I would hit snooze. Nowadays, you can hit snooze multiple times until it actually stops. But it wasn't serving me. But I was persistent in hitting snooze. Is that what you're doing? So take some time and reflect on your day. Okay? Do this at the end of the day and just reflect on what happened today. What did you want to do intellectually, but what did you actually do physically? And is there a gap? What's that gap? What did you persist in today? Did you persist in something that served you or not? And then change it up. I've done it. And if I can do it, you can do it. If you want some help with it, send me a message. My contact is in the description. Send me a message. I'll get on a call with you and I'll help you close that gap. The quicker you close that gap, the more you propel forward. The closer you get to creating a life that you want. And we all have so much power within us. It's absolutely amazing how much we have within us. But most of us are not utilizing the power within us. I hope this lesson has given you some things to think about. I hope you're going to take the time to do some reflecting and really start to move things in a way that serves you. Really start to persist in actions that are going to help you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.